We are surprisingly on time. That is crazy for a musician, am I right? Yeah. Welcome everybody to Furry Musicians from Hobby to Career. My name is Chaotic K9, otherwise known as CK9C. I'd like to introduce you to all of my amazing friends up here, starting with this side. This is EthanJp.
Hi.
Yeah!
I'm EthanJp.
Otherwise known as the infamous artist Cocodope.
Yeah, I've been doing art for like what? My whole life, but I've been doing art in the furry fandom for like 6 months. 6 months?
6 months?
Dude, that's crazy.
6 years!
There we go, that's right.
I've been doing music my whole life too, so like that's cool too, I guess.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Next time we have the illustrious, the beautiful Sal, otherwise known as
Alex Gray. So G-R-A-E-Y with a little weird circle on top of the A. I don't know why. I think it's just because all the names were taken. So I was like, F you, I'm just gonna do both of them. So that's what I did.
I love it.
Yeah. But yeah, I've been making music since 2019.
Yeah.
hell yeah. And beside him, the amazing Canadian, my wonderful friend here, Snuffles.
Hey guys, my name is Snuffles, and I've been an artist for like a digital drawing artist for around like 6-7 years, and I started making music just 2.5 years ago. And yeah.
Hell yeah. And beside me, a man who barely needs an introduction. So many of y'all know him. So all of y'all love him. This is Silverhound.
Where?
Oh, that's me. Oh, wow.
This is Brew.
Hi. I'm Silverhound. I've been doing music professionally for like, let's see, 2023 minus 2012. 11 years? And that's all I've been doing. But it's been working, I guess.
Hell yeah. And again, my name is CK9C. I have been doing music professionally for 9 years, I think. And now I'm starting to tour this wonderful panel with different musicians each time. Shout out to the ones who've seen us in Ferality or other conventions around. But I'm so excited to be working with these amazing musicians today. And without further ado, we'll get right into it. The first half of this panel is going to be a presentation for about 30 minutes. Then the remaining 30 minutes is a Q&A. So without further ado.
It's just my birthday.
Fun. That was supposed to fade out. Anyway, so me, hi. I'm a singer-songwriter primarily, wearer of hats. A lot of hats I need to wear to make this whole thing work, and then producer in training. I like to say producer in training because I have a lot of help that I use for my songs, for electronic stuff. I started off doing a lot of songs from the 60s and 70s. So I was raised. I had older parents. My dad's in his late 70s now, and so he taught me a lot of like the artists from the 60s and 70s, and I was able to really get my bearings from there. And there is actually a specific moment that where I kind of really wanted to dive into music in the first place. Oh, thank you. Where I wanted to write songs, and there's a specific song that Bob Dylan did at the 1964 Newport Folk Music Festival, where he basically put everybody in a trance once he started to say, "Hey, Mr. Tambourine Man," and the song "Mr. Tambourine Man," and I was like, I have to make a song like that. That's something I've always wanted to do because it's just you, the guitar, and your voice, and you can basically cast a spell. And that was really powerful for me. So around like 2018, I started to take this more seriously. My dad gave me a guitar like that I got like 10 years ago prior, but I never picked it up. So I decided to pick it up and learn how to play. And from that point onward, No, sorry, I didn't pick it up then, but yeah, I decided to pick it up at 2019 or 18 and start practicing. And I wrote my it was the third song I wrote where I was really happy with it. It was called Dear Son. And it was based off of a song called Cat Stevens. So it was based off of an artist, Cat Stevens, and the song was called Father and Son. And I wrote a song called Dear Son, Elliot. And it was based off of that song. But I am really obsessed with, singing. Sorry. It's 1960s, folk singer-songwriter vibes. Need to find myself, need to find myself in the music. It was very important. But I created music. Am I going over? Yeah. So it's really important nowadays that I'm just learning how to do the whole spiel, like doing electronic music like that, as well as music, keeping to my folk stuff as well. I'm learning how to market. I'm actually doing a VR world where I'm going to do VTubing, and I've met a whole bunch of VR people through VR chat, and that's helped keep me going and helped me get to where I am today. Thanks to these guys here, they've been really helpful. But the most important thing I've learned is just storytelling is my forte. Like I like to write songs. Like that's my primary thing. Secondary thing is being a musician. But I've learned, I've learned a lot. The recording process. I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about how to make a song, and it involves. You can find me. But that's the little QR code. But the process of writing a song for me has been very going with the flow. It's been all about like just recording stuff at any point in time when you feel like the need to. I use my phone very quickly, very often, all the time. I have like 2,000 voice memos on here where I just literally, like, I could be at a dinner with the President of the United States and I have a melody in my head, I'm just like,
How many other people out there do that?
That is very important to do. I would recommend it. Like, if you have an idea, write it down or put it in a voice memo. That's the fastest way, because not only, and sometimes I don't even need to look at my voice memos. Like, all I need is just the ability to have it there and then forget about it. And then...
I'm at like 200, but 2,000 is really impressive.
Well, thank you. But it's a big process. I think that's the most important thing, because a lot of people feel like they don't want to write it, like, or they have a moment in time, like where they have an idea but they don't write it down, and then they forget about it. I know Paul McCartney and everybody, they didn't have like tape recorders back then, or they didn't have the access of tape recorders back then. But it's important to just you have something, an amazing tool in front of you. I would suggest you use it. How's the time? Is that it? Okay. Anyway, that's my stuff. Thank you.
Definitely check out their music. Scan that QR code. They are one of my favorite comfort artists. Like, whenever I'm not feeling well, their music's just the perfect sound. Oh my God. Could not suggest them more.
Incredible music.
Alright, next we got Snuffles.
Hey, what's up, you guys? I apologize for being a little nervous today, but this goes really awesome. I'm excited to share this with you guys. This is my presentation on how to become an awesome and independent musician. So this presentation is about if you have an interest in music, if you have a kind of a side hobby in music, steps that you can take to kind of craft your own path to success without having to rely on other factors or rely on things that may be out of your control. So yeah. First off, a little about me to start. So my name is Snuffles. I'm an artist and musician.
There we go.
All right.
Yes.
I'm an artist, musician. This is my Sona Snuffles. He's a dragon, and is drawn by me, as well as a bunch of my music covers that I've made, designed and illustrated them myself, as well as some animations that I've made to accompany these projects. So, kind of do a little bit of everything. I've been making music for around 2.5 years, and I'm slowly approaching just about over 2 million streams on Spotify. So, thank you. All right. I appreciate you guys. So how did I do it? How did I start? So no connections, no audio equipment, and no experience. So I'm here to tell you guys that you don't have to have any of these things to be able to do what you can and be capable of doing things that will help you get to where you want to be. You know, if you want to be successful, the things that you can do now and thoughts that you can act on now that will help you achieve that. So, you know, I pulled off most of the stuff just from trying things out, just by trying to have fun, you know, and it's really worth it. We're very capable of doing things ourselves, and we're very, you know, I think we all deserve to know that because it's fully true and I've lived it, and it's really awesome. So how can you truly start, and how did I start? So my friend Hollow actually showed me, an application called the Digital Audio Workstation. One of these showed me Ableton, and Ableton is really awesome. So you make music in these, and I just downloaded it for fun. I wasn't expecting to, I had no intent of a career. It was really awesome because the only one thing I needed to actually open up that door of opportunity to make this into my career is legitimately downloading this app and just using it. So after using it for years, I realized that most people don't even realize that they can actually get their life where they want to be and pursue things just by a simple one decision. This is a computer software, you know. So I recommend you guys all check this out. These are all DAWs, and they all have 90-day free trials, which is really awesome. So if you've never tried one of these, I recommend everyone try it. It's just a sandbox, really awesome. I'm going to be showing you guys a small clip of one of the first things I ever made when I got Ableton, the software, so it's just for fun. And then I'll be showing you guys a clip of the music that I make now using the same software. I'm stressed out on my mind, dealing with this online. I can't seem to get by. So, yeah, thank you guys. I appreciate it. So yeah, that was embarrassing. That was one of the first things I ever made, and here's the setup that I had when I made that first clip that you guys saw. So I have my digital audio workstation, Ableton. I have a generic gaming headset, and of course I had a computer to operate these two things. So now I'm going to show you guys the setup that I used when I made the thing that I played after, which is from my most recent project. Alright, here's the setup that I used 2.5 years later to make what I made after. It's really awesome because that's legitimately just proof that as long as you continue to have fun in the program and try to get better, there's things that you can actually do that will make you get better. And a lot of people, you just gotta start trying, and you can't stop trying because you have to see yourself get better by trying to top your last project and stuff like that. It's really awesome. So it's not about the equipment. It's not about maybe what you don't have access to. As long as you have a computer and literally just a headset microphone, then you can start how I did and make this your career like I did too. So some tips on making a song once you have access to something as powerful as a digital audio workstation. So something I followed is this, which is what makes a song good to you. You should try and make that. So how I when I say I tried constantly, literally what I was doing was I was trying to recreate music that I really like, just because I thought that's what good music was, and I want people to hear good music. That'd be really awesome if I made my own good music the same way I listen to their music and I said it's so good. I know how people do that. So listening to my favorite music helped me. I think everyone should listen to music that they think is good, music that they think is effective, and then move on to brainstorming why those things are good, something in a song that that you love, what are they doing? Really think about it, because we all have brains, mostly, I think, and it's really awesome that we can, sometimes, yeah, I'm speaking for myself, that was a joke, sorry, oh my goodness. But brainstorming is really awesome, figuring out, how things are good, what makes something good, you know? And experimenting, you know, trying to apply yourself in the application is really awesome, you guys. And surprising yourself is something that I hope each and every one of you will be able to do if you go down the route of, you know, trying to be do things independently. Surprising yourself is the greatest feeling ever, you guys. It's no better feeling than that, truly. I want to close on one final slide, which is that the skills that you want are achieved by people in one common way. They never stop when given the choice. So people with amazing skills, you know, they actually got to see themselves improve because they never stop, you know, and if you're trying to improve, you know, you got to be there to see yourself get better, and the only one way you can do that is by trying, and that's really awesome, you guys, and yeah. That's what I did at least. And what's really awesome is it works for multiple forms of making stuff, making music, making art. You know, as long as you keep trying, you can see yourself get better at it. So, you know, applying yourself is very important. That's it for my presentation. If you want to learn more about me and check out some of my work, please take a picture of the QR code if you're interested. And I hope some information here can be used no matter where you are in your journey of pursuing your interests. I hope that you'll be able to use something from my presentation and something from everyone here. And thank you guys at the end of the day. I appreciate
Definitely listen to the music. I love it. I literally can't fly without listening to Snuffles' music in the airplane. It's so good. It's crazy. It's good.
I guess it's my turn. Hi, I'm Ethan, guys. I've been doing art my whole life. I'm a little kind of the odd one out here because I'm not really what you would call a professional musician, but I come from a long, story of like being in choir for my entire life. I'm sorry for those of you who also have had to share that fate. Music's great. I think it's been a really great creative outlet. I think a lot of people tend to think of music as something that needs to be like strictly like, you know, financial or like something to show for, which is absolute bullshit. Don't do that. If you like music, if you like making music and you like having fun with it, I think that's the most important aspect of it. But you can get popular and you can get some money out of doing it too if you want to continue. That's more or less what I was saying about myself. I'm an artist before I was a musician, but you know, I work with a lot of people who do music for a living, straight up. So if you want to continue. Okay, so what I'm here to talk about is the power of promoting yourself and how kind of like you can sort of get your name out there through, you know, visual and through kind of like, I guess, musical thematic stuff. There's a lot of different ways you can kind of get your identity started. But something that's like really important, I guess, about identity is keeping it consistent and keeping it kind of like reputable. There's a lot of things you can do, I think, to promo cake? Why did I write that? Sorry. Makes merch, projects, and promo. Cake isn't like easy as cake. Okay. Yeah. So basically, what I'm saying is like if you've got like consistent branding, like it becomes very easy to start attaining some of those goals that you're going for. Like you are going out there, and people kind of know you and know what to expect from you, and are kind of hyped to be around you sometimes, which is really fun. And also, like I said, it helps financially to have like ground for where your stuff is being seen and represented. Okay, so how? It's a really good question. It's something that doesn't feel very intuitive, I think, to a lot of people. The biggest thing I think that's important is if you find others that you kind of see yourself in, like, we had Sal talking about Bob Dylan. Start seeing what is it that you like about these people that are inspiring you, and you kind of like start to borrow ideas and themes and kind of structure, and you're like, well, what parts of it do I identify with? And then you kind of see other things. I think the most important thing is if you're taking inspiration, make sure you take it from like a big kind of net. You not only want to take it from the people around you, but kind of like other things like outside of like maybe even the thing that you're working with, because like oftentimes I'll be like out shopping and I'll see like a really cool like a menu for like a restaurant or something, or I'll be like out at like a record store and I'll see like all the weird kind of like flyers they have up, and I'm thinking, wow, that's cool, like it just amazing. Like what can I do to kind of like bring that in? So I think having an eye to understand that not only are your immediate interests like important, but like kind of everything about you that you can kind of unify into an identity, which is good. Also, I'm not gonna say the mean word, but please don't be an awful person. So like if you're awful to work with, it gets around very easy. You know, it's one of those things where you got to be very conscious of how it is that you're interacting. You can kind of be an ass, but like don't be like just the most disrespectful, trashy, like just evil, conniving person that you could possibly be. Because like I'm serious, it makes it. You can only go so far, but the more that you kind of destroy bridges and the more that you create this reputation, the less likely it is that people want to work with you. And so you got to be very kind and mindful of how it is that you're representing yourself daily. Okay, so I mean, for first off, anybody who knows No Love Deep Web, that's a deep cut, fucking great album. But also, I think it kind of like gets to my point. So who of you actually does art in here? Oh, I mean, if you consider music art, I would say everybody should raise their hand. But like, so I think the hard part is that when you're broke and you feel like you don't have any ideas and you're kind of like just in this place of like, where the hell do I even start? It becomes hard to really like get started. And I think the first thing is that lower those standards. Just immediately think anything that you can kind of like get your hands on, anything that you can like put yourself out with, that's a good start. And you can kind of build it up from there. If you start to get more money on projects, you can start to pay people to do stuff. And I think CK is going to talk a little bit about that, so I won't get too much into it. But my point is that like everything out there is something to be used as a resource. And if you can't do it yourself, find people who are willing to help you. Next slide. Yeah. Promote with confidence. This is kind of my social media thing that I was like quickly going through. How am I on time, by the way? Okay, cool. I wanted to make sure I wasn't like dragging on. It's hard to tell when you're talking, because I could talk for hours about this stuff. This is like my life. Like, so if you want to know a little bit about me, the last 6 years I've been doing furry art, and it's gone from like kind of like a hobby to like literally a full-blown career, to the point where I'm literally starting to build a production company. So like I'm in a spot where like I'm able to have money to pay other people to work on projects that I want to put together, or that other people want to put together. And I'm talking about stuff like setting up like zines, or setting up games, or setting up that kind of stuff, So the idea is that you kind of have to like really start small and start like kind of finding your target. The biggest detriment that I had when I started out was just wanting to be like a man of every single hat ever, because like I can play music, I can do art, I can do podcasts, all that stuff. But like if you're all over the place and you aren't really like finding things that like you're strong with, or the things that you can focus your time into to start getting that kind of like momentum, it's gonna all fall apart and you're gonna be burned out like all the time. And that's like most of my life. I got into ADHD medication, that was great. Okay, so yeah, I mean, what I would say, the biggest thing that you want to do is that you kind of find a focal point of what it is you're doing, in this case music, right? And you're like, okay, how do I start doing that? How do I get people to notice it? Start posting songs, and start posting kind of like art that identifies with that song, start posting things that identify with those songs. The biggest thing that you can do to be a favor, and people ask me this all the time, they're like, how do I like keep being relevant? I hate that word, but how do I keep having a presence online, or how do I empower my presence? Just post like regularly, interact with people online, find places that you want to be part of. God forbid it's Twitter, but like, I mean, it's just some platforms. I've been on Twitter for like 6 years. I made a career out of it. It's great, but like, you really got to pick and choose like where it is. If you try to do everything, like I said, you're gonna get burned out. You want to be consistent, and if people know that you can be consistent with what it is that you're like doing, they're gonna trust you more when you start to say, okay, I'm gonna do this big ambitious thing, or okay, I need some help to do this thing. Yeah, I would say, is there anything else? What's that last one? The merge cycle? Yeah, I think that's kind of more or less the same thing I was talking about. Like if you're doing a project, don't be like, this is like your first music project. Don't be like, I want to make like a 5-minute animated video, and I want to have like a huge production and all this stuff. Like don't do that. Just start small. Start simple. If you can produce results, do it, and then from there, if you get the money, if you get the experience doing it, because it's not just a money thing. If you don't have experience putting these projects together, it can be a nightmare. Just be kind to yourself, start small, let people know that you're capable and passionate, and from there, let the wind fly under your wings. I think that's me.
Look at everybody. Check them out on Twitter. Everywhere.
I've been doing this for a very long time. I'm not really like stressing about it. I just haven't eaten anything all day. But so this has been a really dope panel on like how to like kind of like start being a musician, how to like start, how to like get your like start as like be a music creator. So I kind of want to speak from like a more seasoned end, like say like if you have a little bit more experience with making music and you want to get somewhere, but you can't, but you've had trouble figuring out like how to get to the somewhere that you want. So it's about luck. My experience with the random element of obtaining success as a furry music artist. Personally, I think it applies to like every like creative career, but I'm speaking strictly from like this particular angle. That's me. Slide. Okay. So the 6 parameters of obtaining success that I've found in my experience: skill, talent, perseverance, patience, connectivity, and luck. Skill being what you do, talent being the ability to do what you do better than most. It's a little different. Like you see like 4-year-olds like on TikTok like being like the greatest fucking drummer in the world. Like stuff like that is like really cool to me, and I think that's just like talent, and like skill is just kind of like doing that, but like talent is just kind of like being able to like really do that, perseverance, or drive, or the ability to like keep going despite whatever obstacles you may face, whatever like scheduling constraints or like whatever like personal life issues you may be dealing with. The ability for you to keep doing what you do despite what's in your way. Patience, love patience. Just how long it takes, just how long you've been doing it.
How long have you been doing it?
A long time.
10 years.
11. Connectivity. People like to say it's not what you know till you know. It's part of it. It's definitely a part. Those connections and like establishing relationships with people who can get you closer to where you want to be. And then there's luck. What is luck? Slide. I know, I'm sorry, it's just funny. Luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. An old white man in ancient Greece named Seneca. Yes, it's what happens when preparation meets opportunity. So the whole thing of luck is being ready for like at any point in time for whatever possible opportunity to get you further like appears to you. This is just a little summary of like my beginnings. I started out making Little Pony influenced French house in the Brony fandom way back in like 2011, 2012. People liked it, people started sharing it online, and before I knew, I discovered like a crazy community known as the Bronies. There's a lot of OGs in here. Which ended up turning into my very first live experience performing at BronyCon 2012. Ended up meeting one of my voice actor heroes, Tara Strong, Raven, Teen Titans, Bubbles, Twilight Sparkle, and we connected, and I was able to collaborate with her on like my first like album. So that was like one of my first of many major people collaborations. And from there, it kept going. I started learning how to DJ from people that I met on these shows. That's a friend of mine named Tetsuo, who like really taught me like the beginnings of like how to like DJ. And that a lot of that footage was actually used and later in a documentary that I was in that ended up premiering at the Tribeca Film Festival in 2014, which this one right here was present for. VJ, as a matter of fact. And it was like those 2-3 years was like an absolutely bonkers experience. And that kept going for a while. And then 2015 happens. A lot of the attention that I had in the beginning stopped coming through. A common thing that happens with people is they don't know how to go forward with everything that they've learned or everything that they know, everything that they've done. They just kind of keep going, and not realizing that a change needs to be made, and which is a very easy trap to fall into. Change is scary. Change is scary. So it was like a 4-year-long slump. Got a job, whatever, yada yada. And then one of my friends that I met throughout the previous Brony escapades, a friend named Chi. I had an idea of a song. I said, "Hey, Chi, wanna do a Hazbin Hotel song?" It's like, for the hell of it. She's like, "Yeah." She had connections with one of the voice actors. Here's the voice actors again. Of Hazbin Hotel. Okay. And then Addict happened. And then I ended up charting on Billboard for the first time, which was really cool. And like the slump was kind of over. Quit my job like 6 months after that. The song was cool. The song did like initially like pretty good numbers, and then like the creative Hazbin reached out to me with interest in doing a music video, and they did it, and then like it blew up. But that was made like in the midst of that like 4-year slump of like virtually no success. And then like, cause like before all that, I was still making music, But then like this was the one where it was just like, it happened. Kept making music, kept going, kept improving. Always keep moving, never stop improving. And just kept the nose to the grindstone and Billboard. Get lucky. So, if anything from like my personal experience with it all, if there's anything you take away from it, it's as long as you keep persevering, you keep going as long as you need to go, you keep honing your skills, you keep improving on your skills, you keep focused on your talent, and you keep making friends and relationships with people of which you want to get connected to, eventually you'll put yourself closer into a better position where your preparation will meet that golden opportunity for you. So that's what I mean by get lucky. As a furry music artist. This is CK9C.
Oh, hello, hi. I get an intro. Hello. How are you all doing, furry musicians? Good, good, good. I'm enjoying this panel so far. I'm going to start off with the question, who here writes music? How many of you all are like instrumentalists, like in a band? Nice. And how many singers are there? All right. Oh, good crowd. What is up? Yo, if you're a singer looking for an instrumentalist and vice versa, look around. There's some great people. I love doing that with these panels. There is such a great time to meet each other and get connected. All right, I'm gonna give you a little intro. This is my advert for FWA, so a little shameless plug for my concert tomorrow. So if this catches your attention, check it out. Yes. Thank you. As you can catch by that video, I do scary sounding music. Specifically nerdcore is what I'm known for. But yes, again, my name is CK9C, otherwise standing for Chaotic Canine Culture. That's what the original name was, but that's a lot to type out, so we're just gonna sum it down to CK9C. So I'm going to talk about like the advanced part of music making, but before I do, who here is in the hobby level of music? Very nice. Who's in like the intermediate? You're starting to make some money, gigging a little bit, maybe some streams. Very nice. And do we have any career musicians in here? Yo, hell yeah, hell yeah. All right, so this part is. You each can take away a part of this, but this is from my experience doing my career for about 8.5 years full time and growing my music from just a little bedroom studio in my dorm room to a full-blown international production company. And right now I'm on my first tour, so shout out FWA for having me be one of the stops on my first ever tour. So. One of the questions that every musician has is how the hell do we get heard? Like we can all write some music, we can all put it out there. How do you get heard? How do you get your audience? Well, of course, the first part is you got to finish the damn song. I know every single one of you probably struggles with writing and finishing that song. Who's good at that last 20%? You're like, easy, done. It's hard, and it's not everyone's cup of tea to just be like, I'm good. That's the finished piece of art. I'm gonna put it out to the world. I'm gonna release my babies. That is hard. You know, I suffer from perfectionism myself. Sometimes songs can take me like a day to write, which is amazing. It's a stroke of luck sometimes when that happens. The universe talks through you. Sometimes it's like, oh, I'm gonna be working on this song and it's finally coming out 4 years later. After rewrite after rewrite. I want to make sure that it's always perfect, but sometimes you just gotta know when to cut the cord. Just be like, all right, I can't anymore. It's good, I'm happy enough with it. You gotta let it go. That's my biggest piece of advice. Just let it go. I'm not gonna break into song, but you all hear it in your head. I know you do. So what do you do with that song once you're ready to release it? Well, you should distribute it, and there are a number of distributors out there. My favorite have been CD Baby and DistroKid. What do you use, Silva?
I use DistroKid.
Hell yeah, what do you use now?
DistroKid.
Ethan?
What do you mean by distribution specifically?
How do you put your song? Have you released a song yet to distribution? Like if they put it on Spotify, Apple Music.
Oh, so no, for me, like I don't even do that yet. I a lot of the times when I make music, I just share it like on Discord servers with friends, with people who like I admire or look up to, and they'll kind of give like input.
Yeah, you're getting into my next slide already. Yeah. And what about you, Sal? How do you distribute your music?
More like a label that's not a label. It's a weird thing. But yeah, it's called To Your Music.
Cool. Hell yeah.
And also, I release on Bandcamp, which is great for independent releases. And also SoundCloud, what is it? Repost.
Yeah, SoundCloud and Bandcamp, great resources to distribute your music for free. You don't have to pay for those, and with Bandcamp you can make money. Shout out to Bandcamp Fridays. They're great. If you know what a Bandcamp Friday is, shout out. Yeah. That's the best way to help out your local artists. Buy their music on Fridays on Bandcamp because all the proceeds, or at least the majority of them, go to the artist instead of Bandcamp's cut. All right. So once you've released that song into the world, you've distributed it to one of your distributors. Now you gotta market it. It exists in Spotify. It exists on iTunes, wherever you have it. So one of the places that I like to go for marketing, because I like grassroots marketing. I don't like to go into my second point there. I don't ever pay for marketing. Well, I've tried like Instagram ads. Man, they're not worth it. I'm not gonna say that word. Bleep Instagram ads. Don't do them. Don't pay for ads if you can. Sal, you've got some important insight on this one. I'll ask you in just a second. But the way I like to distribute my music and to really do it is I kind of focus on a community, whether it's like the furry community, the nerdcore community, the anime community, as a lot of our friends do. If there's a lot of anime rappers, musicians out there, there's all these communities where they're very tight-knit, as you know in the furry fandom, when people talk to each other. If you like a piece of content, you're likely gonna share it. And working with those communities, creating stuff that they would like, that you also like, honestly can really help you get your work out there. And so I personally focus on like zeitgeist music. So if there's a game that I like, because I write songs about video games, it's like one of my favorite things to do. Specifically the horror video games, like Five Nights at Freddy's, way back when it was just like FNAF 1. I was like, what was this? I kind of fucks with this. This is cool. Zeitgeist just means what's in the now. And so stuff that's popular, if you write about it, it's likely gonna get shared more. My good friend CG5 really is one of like the proficient capitalizers on that idea. I met him when he had 7,000 subscribers on YouTube, and I was like, bro, you're gonna go far. I love your style of music. At the time he was making like covers and stuff. I was like, you need to sing more. You need to put an animation on every one of your music videos if you can. And just keep doing what you're doing. It's gonna blow up. And he's like, I'm gonna do meme music. It's like, meme music? Okay, I don't know if that's gonna work, but let's see. He's got like 4 million subscribers now. Yeah, he works with the most amazing artists and he's just blowing up. So he focuses on zeitgeist because he's able to crunch out a song in a day to 4 days from beginning to end and just have it out. So yeah, working fast helps with zeitgeist. If you don't work fast, maybe don't focus too much on zeitgeist, or at least something that inspires you that has some longevity, like Portal. I love Portal. You can never go wrong with Portal. Oh my gosh.
Making a number.
Showing your age.
Oh my gosh, stop. Banned. All right, this middle point, I really want to ask my friend Sal about, because Sal has more experience with the quote-unquote like professional side of the music industry with labels. Do you recommend paying for marketing?
That's a tough question. It really depends on where you're gonna put the music, but I had just not the best time marketing. I had to pay a marketing team a lot of money to do absolutely nothing and give me like 10 or 20,000 fake followers on Instagram, which I just had to like delete that channel. So that, yeah, I had a whole process in Atlanta. It was just not fun. So I think if you're starting off, definitely just go grassroots. It's a lot more fun and it's a lot more interesting. You'll get a lot more positive feedback that way instead of just being an echo chamber.
Definitely, and here in the furry fandom, one of the best ways that you can market to your own community, I know you all have furry friends. Show them your music. It's okay to be like, hey, Snuffles, I just wrote this song, could you give it a listen? And if he likes it, he's likely gonna be like, dude, this shit slap. I'm gonna show this to some other people. That really helps. And showing off in VR chat is something I do a lot. I'll sit in VR chat and just perform music. I know my good friend in the front row here does the same thing. An amazing musician. Hi, Lodi. Yeah. So yeah, just getting your music in front of communities who are gonna just like it because they vibe with it. If you vibe with it, chances are somebody out there is really gonna vibe with it too. All right, so once you've started to get your music out there, once you're starting to make some streams and you're like, all right, how do I do this but bigger? And you can do a jack of all trades. One of my professors told me in music college, he's like, you're not gonna make it doing this jack of all trades shtick. And I was like, watch me. And I did it for a little bit, but it kept growing and I was like, okay, all right, it's time to start delegating some work. And it's something I told my friend CG5 when he was starting, try to make a video for every one of your songs. Post it to YouTube, post it to TikTok. TikTok is huge. Oh my gosh, if your song starts getting a little trending on, just a little trending, it's gonna do wonders for your other platforms, especially like Spotify. And Spotify pays a lot better than TikTok or YouTube per view. TikTok is a great bouncing off platform to get your stuff out there, but you're gonna need some visuals. And my favorite way is working with animators. Now, animators can cost a lot of money. What's a good way of having an animation for your project without paying a ton of money up front? Work with students who are working on their thesis for college, who are working on their portfolios. They're gonna do it either at a discount. If you don't have a lot of money to give them, you can promise them in a contract, always use contracts, people. Promise them, if this song blows up, you get a percentage of this video, percentage of something. You promise them a return. An artist is gonna put a lot more effort into your project if they feel a sense of ownership to it too. It's their baby as well as yours, and you're gonna get a lot better product, and you're gonna have a better time working with them. But that also entails contracts. There are copy and paste good contracts on Google. Please use them. They can save your ass. You don't wanna just go by word of mouth or a Discord message. Don't do that. I've done that. I've gotten screwed over. Don't do that. And don't screw people over. That's the other part. Like you were talking about, don't be an asshole.
I didn't want to say it because like I didn't know if we were supposed to be cursing here or not.
I think an asshole's fine.
I definitely curse.
Yeah. We're gonna try to keep PG-13, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, don't be a bad person. If you promise someone a percentage, do right by them. Word spreads. And that's gonna also take finding the right people as you grow your team, whether it's animators for your music videos or people who are gonna help you with cinematography for live action videos. Maybe they're editors. Editors are very important to any video. Get editors or practice editing. I love practicing editing and it's just a lot of fun. And then find people who can make your album artwork. If you're an artist, make your own album artwork. That's what Snuffles does. It is so good. It's like the perfect visuals for your audio. It's like exactly what I envision. You just nail it. If you're not an artist, but you're a musician, collab with these artists. You're in the furry fandom. We are not short of artists all around us. And I know you all have friends who can draw. If you don't want to go to your friends, then commission someone. I know we all commission people. Commission them for your music. And it's okay if they charge more. In fact, they should, because if you're gonna start making money off of this, you're gonna want commercial rights to your artwork and animations. And normally that either comes with paying them a percentage off of sales or giving them a higher commission rate. Sometimes I'll pay 100% on top of with a normal commission rate for commercial rights, and sometimes I'll do percentages. What about you, Silva?
I usually end up doing a flat rate plus a percentage royalties, because the immediate flat rate should always be like something guaranteed to the artist, you know, or whoever you collaborate with, be it an editor or like a featured singer. And then the royalty percentage on top of that would be for whether or not the project becomes successful, at least the people you worked with and still ended up with a fair payment.
Exactly, yeah. Don't make people work for free, and please don't work for free either. You are worth everything, and so are the people around you. Treat everyone right, and they'll treat you right. Generally.
Although it doesn't hurt to start for free.
Yeah, that's true.
I know, I definitely did it. You know, I started for free.
So did I.
I did Addict for free.
Yeah, really?
Yes, 100% free. I got $0 from the video.
Damn, that video has like 100 million views.
147. But the streams, the song, that's all me.
Streams often pay more than the video plays. I know YouTube, having been a full-time YouTuber for about 8 years as well, I can tell you CPM, that's how much money they're gonna pay you per 1,000 views. YouTube is generally around $1, sometimes $1 like 80. It used to be better back in the day before the apocalypse, RIP. But Spotify's gonna pay you upwards of like $3 to $7 per 1,000 views. Way better. So yeah, that's not a bad split.
The average RPM is usually around like 5 to 6, if you're like releasing like monthly. And so like to break, so like so for example, if you're trying to like make $1,000, your video is gonna have to cross 588,000 views. Million.
No, 1,000. Yeah, 1,000. Sorry,
Yeah, so like, $1,000 from the video is like 588,000 views. And that's with the average RPM. So if you're uploading like regularly, not too much, not too little, then you're getting like an average RPM per view.
Yeah. And like Silva touched on with their slides, being in the right place at the right time is big. Something my other music professor told me when I first started music college, he's like, it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be fucking hard to make it as a musician. Excuse my language, I forgot. He was crass. I'm sorry, I'm quoting him directly.
That's the limit now, that's the limit.
That's the limit, we're past the limit. So yeah, like you were saying, about 80% is hard work, and with a mix of talent, perseverance, and patience, and being ready. If you're ready when that opportunity is there, you seize that and you run with it hard. There is a lot of luck that went into getting me to where I am, whether it was one day I was sitting in my dorm room and my roommate across the hall knocks on my door. He's like, hey, I got this student who's looking to go to our program, but I'm in the marketing. He wants to be in music. Can you talk to him? I was like, oh, sure. He's like, this little nerdy kid comes in. He's like, yeah, I'm a brony musician. I was like, oh, I know about bronies. And he's like, yeah, I'm the wooden toaster. I was like, oh, I never heard of you. Let me see. What the hell? What is this? Oh my God, this kind of slaps. And then right there that suggested the Living Tombstone. I was like, who's this? What's Five Nights at Freddy's? Oh shit, I can do this. I want to do this. I'm going to try this. Boom, changed my life. Or when I was looking for my internship, Warner Music hired me to work out of California. I started moving up there, and I asked for an extension on the move-in date. They're like, well, yeah, but don't you live here? I'm like, no. They're like, we had an in-person interview last week. I was like, no, we didn't. They're like, you're Jorge Aguilar. That's my real name, by the way. I'm like, the second. I'm Jorge Aguilar the second. They go, oh, shit. I think we hired the wrong one. I was like, well, I'm already moving up there. Can y'all help me out? And they're like, would you like to work anywhere else? I was like, no, I'll take anywhere. I just need this internship to graduate. So I sent my resume to all the Warner-owned studios, and Atlantic Records in Hollywood ended up picking me up. So I worked there for a while as a music engineer there, and that's where I learned a lot of pop, because at the time I wanted to do theatrical music. Stuff that is in movies, big sounds, kind of like you heard in that little preview. And so yeah, there's been a lot of luck that has gotten me to where I am, but that luck wouldn't account for shit if I wasn't ready for it. You gotta jump on those opportunities. They're gonna come at you, and when they do, you better be ready. All right, that is it for the presentation part. Thank you. Now is the best part, is the Q&A. So, if you have questions for any of these amazing musicians, let's start with a run of hands. I saw the first year Paul go up first.
So I'm trying to make an honest attempt to become a professional musician, but I live in a two-cell apartment and I have neighbors from hell.
Oh yeah.
So,
I was there in my dorm rooms, I feel you.
so whenever I'm trying to like record an instrument or record vocals, they're always trying to shut me out by like knocking on the door, telling me to be quiet.
Oh my God, that's awful.
By playing their own music really loud. Or they send complaints to the management. And like, I'm kind of stressing out. I don't have many options because the only option I can think of is like recording out of my car. So I don't know if like,
Not the most ideal, but yeah.
I don't know if you guys have like any suggestions or like.
I've got a couple. So I started a lot of my first songs in my dorm room, which had paper thin walls. I could hear everything, so could they. One, work out of headphones. That's for like your mixing. You know, I'm sure you already do that. Two, record in your closet if you can. Surround yourself with clothes, blankets. Put up a little blanket for it, and that's gonna help muffle as much as you can. If you can get some cheap foam, whether it's like couch foam, you don't have to go crazy with the RLX. You don't need that. Just try to surround yourself with as much padding as you can. Like, hang some padding on your closet door, close it in, and record like that in there. It's gonna get hot, but if you love music, it's gonna be worth it. Does anyone else have some good tips?
I was gonna say, I think your situation sucks. I'm really sorry first off. Oh my God. I think something that I would do in that situation is to try to do whatever you can to prepare yourself to where you get to a point where you actually can, start recording and start doing what you want without having to worry about the neighbors. So, improving your ears and really, listening to music, kind of just like getting ready to be able to be free from the limitation that you have. Again, do like what you can now, considering your circumstance to help prepare yourself, and you will thank yourself so much if you do that kind of thing. Because then you'll be like, I could do it. And I did, and it's good to try to work around that, try to compromise, try to accommodate yourself and stuff like that. It's good.
Can I add something?
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a few different angles you go at this with, but I think the big thing is that you're really focusing on the live recording aspect of it, which is cool. It is really good when you can play an instrument or sing and hear your own voice. But there's plenty of musicians out there who don't do that like at all, or where they do some mixture of recording where they'll take their crappy, scrappy recording and then kind of like translate it into something a lot better. There's like programs like OpenMPT, which are incredible for like if you're into music tracking. And look, there's some great stuff in that, okay?
It's hard though.
It's hard, but I'm saying there's a lot of programs out there where you don't necessarily have to like be playing the instruments to make music. It's something where you are able to make a whole song from scratch based out of other people's samples and like your own kind of things that you're bringing into it. Second off, have you heard of car seat headrest? Literally named after the guy who was sitting inside of a car recording every single bit of his music, because he didn't want to be at home writing music. It's you can find places outside of your house, and even if the sound is garbage, just find an angle with it. Will Toledo's thing was it was shitty lo-fi where he was crying and you couldn't hear him because he didn't want people to hear his lyrics, Yeah.
Okay. To preface, before we go on, we are starting to run out of time, so before we get kicked out of here, some of us will be outside for more questions. We're going to hang around that way. We can let the other people come in when they need to. But also, if you want more questions, I live stream music production almost 3 days a week on Twitch. Yes, Chaotic Canine Culture. If you need it, just come boop this with your phone and you'll get it. And I talk about music production from first step to the last step, and you can watch me write some of my next songs and be a part of that whole recording process. So definitely do that too if you're more interested in production. Can we get a couple more questions? You want to choose the next one?
Okay. So, would you recommend doing more than one genre of music when you listen to stuff? Because I've gotten like
Yes.
controversial point of view that sometimes you do like to listen to your favorite stuff, but that's not necessarily the best for inspiration.
Yeah, I write multi-genre, whether it's like huge cinematic production, electric, pop, jazz. I'm all over the place. Now I'm doing like some sad Joji type Post Malone beats. Yeah, write whatever you want. Don't ever let people fucking, sorry, oh my God, I need to stop. Don't ever let people dictate what you're gonna write. You are your own artist. Write for you, not for anyone else.
Real quick. So I primarily do EDM. All my like major releases are EDM. But when I'm not releasing my own songs, and like I release my own music like 3, 4, 5 months at a time, not ideal. But when I'm not, I'm collaborating with either like anime rappers. I'm producing rap beats, or the new Bendy game, Bending the Dark Revival. I did some co-production on that, on the main theme of the game, some orchestral stuff. So I'm always like outside of my main genre, I'm always doing a whole nother genre. I think it's good to diversify your tastes. You know, it opens the doors for you and your creativity.
We got time for one more question. We've been told at the door. We got one more. Would you?
Yeah, so you guys were talking about like, getting, the finding a community, finding those connections and things like that. Do you have any like tips or pointers? This might be a big question. But any tips or pointers on how to, what steps to take, where to go find that kind of community, to go find those kind of connections?
Discord and VR chat.
I would say Twitter, because a lot of my audience, like, I got kind of almost a head start in that department because I drew stuff before I started making music. So, and I'm incorporating my drawing into my music, so it kind of bridges the two together for people to go to that. It's very, very useful.
I had a lot of my collaborations in VR chat. I actually made one of my good friends Midnight Drift from that, so it's been really helpful.
Hell yes. Oh, also, that leads me to my last point. Huge. Collaborate, please. If you want to tap into other artists who already are like a little bit more established, or maybe not so established, it's a great way to not only get you to write faster and do different stuff, but also to share communities. The more you share communities, the bigger you can grow much faster. Collaborate. It's a good thing.
Thank you.
All right. But before we go, if you're interested in going tonight, we've got a music concert going on in room 904. Some of these musicians are going to be performing, and then it's going to turn into an open mic. I would love to hear some of y'all perform. We're going to have guitars, pianos. It's going to be a great time. Come up here if you need to scan it. It's 18 plus.
Thank you, friends.
Thank you, everyone. Before you go, can I get a group picture with everyone real quick? I always forget to do that.
Once again, you guys, for anyone with unanswered questions, some of us will be outside kind of hanging out. Feel free to, all to you, if you want to come up to us and ask questions, it's encouraged. And again, thank you guys for coming.